Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. We are discussing the electromagnetics or EMFT, and today in this session we are going to discuss about the coordinate system and the vector analysis. This is the third part of the coordinate system and the vector analysis, and here we are going to discuss about the multiplication in the vectors. In the previous video we have already seen how we can add or subtract two vectors. Now it is coming to the multiplication. Okay, so a quick recap towards the previous videos. In the coordinate system video 1 and the part 2, we have already seen the two types of coordinate system. First is orthogonal, second is non-orthogonal. In the orthogonal system, we have already talked about the Cartesian coordinate system. This is the diagram that represents the Cartesian coordinate system. Here we have 2 points in the space and we are representing these 2 points with the help of Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so now here I have the coefficient ax, ay and az on the x, y and z axis. Ax, ay and az, this small ax, small ay and small az are the unit vectors along x, y and the z axis. So this is the vector A and we have a unit vector along A vector as well. Okay, so we had already found out how we can represent the A vector. A vector was ax plus ay plus az, magnitude of A was under root ax square plus ay square plus az square. Okay, so the unit vector along A direction was A cap and it is given as A vector upon the magnitude of A vector. So I know what is A vector, I know magnitude of A vector. This is how I can find out the unit vector along the A direction. So similarly, I have a point B in the space. How I can represent the point B? Point B can be represented as bxax plus byay plus bzaz, and the magnitude of the point B is under root bx square plus by square plus bz square. And like here, I can divide this B with the magnitude of the B and I can find out the unit vector along B direction as well. Why I am telling you all this again? Because here also I am dealing with the vectors and their magnitude and their unit vectors as well. So first of all, the first thing that we want to discuss is the multiplication with the scalar. So if I have any vector, let's suppose I have the vector A vector and I am multiplying it with a scalar k. Okay, so how I represented A vector? So k is a number which is a scalar. I can represent k as it is. What is A? A was ax plus ay plus az. So now if I have any scalar number, let's suppose k is 2 or 3 or any scalar number. So now what I will be doing? I will be multiplying k with the coefficient of ax, simply with the coefficient of ay and with the coefficient of az. So whatever the coefficient is, I am multiplying it. So if the coefficient is 1, 2, 3, I will be multiplying it with the k. So if k is 2, here I have 1, 2 and 3. So what I would be having? So k is 2 and 2 multiplied with 1 will be 2, 2 multiplied with 2 will be 4, 2 multiplied with 3 will be 6. Simply I am multiplying the coefficients with the constant. So here I will be having ax plus ay plus az. This is output is again vector, because here I have a scalar, I am multiplying it with the vector, the output will be vector. Now coming to the dot product. Dot product is also called the scalar product. Okay, so how I can represent the dot product? So the representation is very simple. I represent the dot product with A vector dot B vector. So as the name suggests, we have a dot between the two vectors. So now how I can find out the dot product? So here I will be using the formula. So what is the formula? I will be multiplying the magnitude of the A with the magnitude of the B and I will be multiplying it with the cos of theta. So theta is the angle between the A vector and the B vector. Okay, so here I know what is the magnitude of the A. This is this under root ax square plus ay square plus az square. What is the magnitude of b? Under root bx square plus by square plus bz square. So I will be multiplying it with the cos of theta. So here you can see magnitude of a is a scalar number, magnitude of the b is a scalar number, cos of theta will be giving me again a number. So a dot b is a scalar output. So again it is also called the scalar product, and I hope now you understood what is the reason it is called the scalar product. Now coming to the various properties of the dot product. So first of all I will be finding out the dot product of ax with ax and ay with ay and az with az. Okay, so this is my unit vectors. With the small ax, small ay and small az, I was representing the unit vectors along x, y and z coordinates. So, okay, now what is the magnitude of ax vector? It is 1. I am already telling you it is a unit vector. So magnitude of ax, and again here I am multiplying with ax only. So magnitude will be 1. So I have to see the cos of theta. Theta, the ax and ax both are making the 0 angle. Both are in the same direction. So the cos of theta will be 0. So theta will be 0. Cos of theta will be cos of 0, which is 1. So I can say ax dot ax is similarly, in the similar fashion I can find out ay dot ay and az dot az as well, and it will be coming out to be 1. Now if I have to find out ax dot ay, it will be also equal to ay dot az, and which will be equal to az dot ax. So now let's find out this again. The magnitude of ax as well as ay will be 1. So now I am not concerned about the magnitude. Again I have to see the cos of theta. Ax and ay, ax is on the x-axis, ay is on the y-axis. X and y are making the 90-degree angle, that we know. Okay, so the cos of theta here will be 90-degree because ax and ay are making the 90-degree angle. So here I will be having 1 into cos of 90. Cos of 90 is 0, so I can directly put it to 0. Okay, so now here if I have to multiply a with the b, so now if I know the coordinates of a and b, how I represented a as ax plus ay plus az. How I represented b, bx plus by plus bz. So with the help of Cartesian coordinates and with the help of xyz coefficients, how I can find out the dot product. Okay, so what will happen? This a will be multiplying with this b. Okay, so ax will be multiplying with bx by and bz. Okay, so now here I have to multiply ax with bx. Okay, I know ax dot ax will be equal to 1. So now here I am left out with ax into bx only. Okay, so now if I talk about ax multiplied with by. So here ax is having the dot product with ay. Ax having dot product with ay is equal to 0. So now here this multiplied with this will be 0. So if I have to multiply these terms with this term, I just restrict myself to multiplication of ax with the ax coefficient only. Okay, so ax is multiplied with the bx only. Ax cannot be multiplied with by and bz. I hope you understood the reason now. Okay, so in the similar manner I can say ay is multiplied with the by only. If I multiply ay with bx, what will happen? I have ay dot ax. Okay, so this unit vector ay is having the dot product with ax, ay dot ax. Okay, so from here also you can see the cos of 90 will be there and I will be getting 0. So here also I can write ay by only. Okay, in the similar manner I can write az bz only. Okay, so this is how I can find out the dot product between the two vectors whose coefficients of their point in the space is given. Okay, so when the coefficients is given, I will be directly multiplying the coefficients along x, y and the z direction. So this is a vector dot b vector. Now coming to the property. So the property is that a vector dot b vector is equal to b vector dot a vector. Okay, so this is the commutative property, and a vector dot b vector is equal to b vector dot a vector. Now coming to the use of dot product, where it is used. It is used to find out the projection. Okay, if I have to find out the projection of a vector on b vector, what is the projection first of all? Okay, so here if I have this vector to be my a vector, this vector is representing my b vector. Okay, what is the projection? Projection means if I am sending the perpendicular light, so this light will be making a shadow on this axis. Okay, so this shadow's length I have to find out, and this will be giving me the projection. I can easily find out the projection with the help of dot product. So projection is given by, remember, it is a projection of a on b. Okay, it is given by a vector dot b vector upon the magnitude of the b vector. Okay, so a vector dot b vector is ab cos of theta. It is divided by b vector. I am getting a vector magnitude cos of theta. Okay, and from this diagram also you can see, if I have any angle theta between here, so the projection is given by a vector cos of theta. Okay, so from the formula also I am getting a vector cos of theta. So with the help of dot product I can find out the projection with the help of this formula. This is a vector dot b vector divided by magnitude of b vector. Now coming to the cross product, or it is also called the vector product. Now first of all, what is the formula of the cross product? If I have to tell you the formula, it is represented as a vector cross b vector, as its name suggests. Okay, its formula is magnitude of a vector multiplied with magnitude of b vector, and here it is multiplied with sine theta, and we have n cap as well. N cap is the vector which is representing the vector nature of the vector product. Okay, so here I have a as well as b vector. How I can represent a vector and b vector? I hope now you remember. A is ax, ax, ay, az, az summation. B is bx, ax plus by, ay plus bz, az. So this is how I can find out magnitude of a. This is the magnitude of a. This is the magnitude of b. I will be multiplying it with sine of theta. Theta is the angle between a and b, and I will be multiplying it with n cap. Now which is the direction? N cap. If I have two vector, in which direction I have to choose n cap? N cap will be the perpendicular direction. I will be telling you how you can find out the n cap as well. So now again coming to the properties. Okay, so now coming to the first property, ax cross ax is equal to ay cross ay is equal to az cross az. Put the magnitudes are 1, we know it is the unit vector. Now here sine of theta will be 0, because I am finding out the angle between ax and ax. It has to be 0. So a cross b will be 0 in this case. Okay, now if I talk about a cross b, if I have the ax cross ay, so now if I have ax cross ay, I will be using a trick now. I am telling you the trick here, so you can draw the Cartesian coordinate system like this. So here you will be having x, y and z coordinates. If you have to find out ax cross ay, okay, so now you will be moving in the anti-clockwise direction. If you are moving from x to y direction, you will be getting the z. Okay, so you will be getting az. Okay, so now in the similar fashion you can find out ay cross az. Okay, now if you are finding out ay cross az, you have to move here and you will be getting ax. Okay, in the similar manner, you are finding out AZ cross AX. Okay, so when you find out AZ cross AX, so you will be getting AY. So this is how you can multiply them. And if someone asks me what is the reverse, okay, so if I have to find out B cross A, B cross A will not be equal to A cross B. Okay, so here we don't have this equality, which means this vector product will not follow the commutative law. So B cross A will not be equal to A cross B. If I have to find out AY cross AX, it will be equal to minus AZ. It will not be equal to AZ in this case. Okay, so now if I have to find out the cross product with the help of the Cartesian coordinate system, I can easily use this formula. Okay, A vector cross B vector will be equal to this. These are the directions or the unit vector AX, AY, AZ. Here we will be taking the coefficients AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. Now we have to find out the determinant, and I can expand along any row or any column. So I easily know how I can find out the determinant. This you must have studied about the determinant in your previous classes. I am not going into detail of the determinant now. So now you can find out the determinant, and this will be giving you the magnitude of the A cross B vector, and here these unit vectors are there, and here these unit vectors, when combined with the magnitude, they will be giving you the actual A vector cross B vector with the direction. So you must remember that it is not just a number, it is a vector. It is having the magnitude as well as the direction. Now where it is used? Again, it can be used to find out the normal. So if I have any two vectors A and B, now I have to find out the normal to both of these vectors. I have to find out any vector which is perpendicular to A as well as perpendicular to B. So how I can find out? I can find out with the help of n cap. N cap will be equal to A vector cross B vector divided by magnitude of A vector cross B vector. So this will be giving me the normal towards A as well as B. So I hope now you understood what is the vector product or what is the cross product. Now coming to the scalar triple product. What is the scalar triple product? First of all, I will be giving you the identity. Scalar triple product between, obviously here we are dealing with the three vectors. So here if I have three vectors, I can easily represent the scalar triple product with the formula A cross B dot C. Okay, so now here A cross B will be giving me a vector output. So here this will be giving me any vector. Okay, so obviously the dot product of any number has to be with a vector. I was having the dot product where A vector was dot product with the B vector. So here A cross B will be giving me any vector. So now let's suppose A cross B is equal to D vector. Okay, so what I am left out with? D vector dot C vector. Now D vector is having the dot product with the C vector. Okay, so D vector dot C vector will be giving me a scalar. So this is how the scalar triple product is giving me the scalar output, and this is why its name is scalar triple product. Now what is the identity that it follows? It follows this identity that A vector cross B vector dot C vector is equal to A vector dot B vector cross C vector, or it is commutative. Okay, so I can easily shift the cross and the dot product. So here I shift the dot product to in between A and B and cross product to in between B and C. So this is how I can easily verify the commutative law. You can easily put any vectors, and any three vectors you can choose, and you can easily find out this number and this number, and both of them has to be equal. Now coming to the vector triple product, as the name suggests, the output has to be vector. Okay, if I take the A vector cross B vector cross C vector, so this is giving me the vector triple product. Okay, so now here A vector cross B vector cross C vector is not equal to A vector cross B vector cross C vector. Okay, so this is not commutative. Okay, so now how I can find out it? So it will be equal to A dot C multiplied with the B vector minus A dot B multiplied with the C vector. So here you should know that A dot C is giving me any scalar number. Let's suppose it is giving me a number K. So here I have KB bar, and A dot B is giving me any number P. So here I have PC bar. So here this is any vector subtracted by any vector. So now this is how I will be getting the output to be a vector. Okay, so this was all about the vector analysis. I hope you understood each and everything that I have discussed till now. If you still have any kind of doubt, feel free to contact me or put the doubt in the comment, and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and do push the like button. Okay, thank you so much.